Welcome to today's episode of Sin-spirational Moments, where we explore the various perspectives and unique dynamics of sin and its implications on our daily lives. My name is Timothy Baker, and today we will explore on our journey self-worth. Now, I'm going to start with Psalms 139, 13 through 14. For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. So it's important to understand, regardless of what we may hear in the world from sometimes sadly friends or family, we do have worth. God has a tremendous amount of value in you in his eyes. And ultimately, that's all really that counts. But it is a challenging world we live in. And it's important to know that you are not less than anyone. And arrogance is really the feeling that you're better than everyone else. But without self worth, we tend to settle or we'll pass on opportunities, we'll self sabotage, and even become just generally critical and sometimes not enjoyable to be around. But we do need to stop minimizing ourselves. And with that, it keeps me from progressing, keeps you from progressing when we do that. We all have unique value. Nobody has more or less value because we are all sinners. But self confidence builds through and with others. And that's an important statement right there because when you're feeling down, that's when it's important to not separate yourself and isolate yourself. That's a time to get out there and engage. And if you really don't have others to go engage with, then go volunteer. You'd be amazed how impactful that is on your worth, your general overall soul when you get out there and help another person, even when you may be at the bottom yourself. So, what are a few ways that we can overcome and maintain and build a strong self worth? Our fire starters today. Number one, journal daily. Be mindful of your thoughts and reflect on the good things that have happened through the day. I have started journaling probably about 3 years ago. I would love to say that I do it every single day, but I do it at least 4 or 5 times a week. And I think that's definitely been the key to helping me get over times where I'm really struggling. And sometimes I just don't know if I can make it to the next day. But sitting down and finding a couple of things that I'm grateful for and thankful for, and just recognizing the day itself helps me to move into the next day with a little bit better perspective. Maybe not a better situation, but a better perspective. And that leads into number two: focus matters. Too many ideas shut down our belief, and it reduces your confidence. You need to kind of stay focused in on an area, not overwhelm yourself with trying to engage in so many things that, one, you're not your true self, or two, that you're exhausting yourself and you're finding it to be work as opposed to being pleasurable. So it's important that you stay focused and that you find one or two things that bring you joy that you can integrate into your weekly processes. And then third, put God in charge of your plans. Quit trying to figure it out. I would say that's probably been my biggest help. I stopped trying to figure it out. Doesn't mean I don't plan. Doesn't mean I don't strive towards things and that I have desires that I work towards. But today, for example, when I was out on my walk with my dog while we're watching the sun go down, I outwardly prayed during my walk and talked with God about this podcast, about other efforts like 66 Fix, and then in general, my relationship with other people in my life and even my network. So for me, it's a critical component of having my plans be relinquished to God's, because ultimately, guess what? We don't get too much of a choice. They are all His, and it is His kingdom. So it's a matter of how we choose to manage and live through it. We can either try to do it on our own. I tell you, you're not going to enjoy it much in the long run, or you can embrace that God is in charge and get to know some of those other friends in your neighborhood that also have that same belief, and that will strengthen that belief in you as well. I will finish with Proverbs 16:2-3. All the ways of man are pure in his own heart, but the Lord weighs the spirits. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. So again, God has invited us to do all things in life, not just for Him, but with Him. Thank you for listening today. And if you did enjoy today's episode, you will want to make sure that you check out our website, thefaithfulsinners.com. So then that way you're able to stay on top of the updates. And along with it, I would ask you to please share and like on your favorite social media and podcast stations so we can all sin better together.